What's going on? It's Thursday, January 26th, 2023. My name is Jeremy. I'm sure of that part. And this is my first cup, which I'm also certain of. Who's here? Good morning, Brian. Good morning. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Dennis. And all the rest of you out there, how's it going? How is Thursday shaping up for you? Did you just roll out of bed? Are your eyes half closed? Okay, Jeremy, you're way too energetic for me right now. Or perhaps like me, you've been up for an hour and a half and you've already taken a shower and done a bunch of other stuff around the house and kind of planned out your day. That's a big thing that I've been working on lately, is planning my day as early in the day as possible, so other things don't come and derail it. You know, like all those emails or that one email or that text message where you're like, oh, sometimes you get that text message. Sometimes it derails your day. But if you do the most important stuff first thing, it tends to work out a little better. Good morning also to Kelly and Rebecca. So there was a chance that I was going to be on the road today, that I was going to do the show and leave and be in New Jersey a day early. That is not happening. I will be leaving tomorrow after the show, so you don't have to miss any shows. In fact, knock on wood, if all goes well, the only show that you will be missing, that we will be missing, because we do this together, that we will be missing is when I return from my time away on February 14th. I have an early enough flight that I don't believe I can do the show. I'm not 100% sure that I'm remembering that correctly, but I know my flight to depart is at 11. So I'll do the show and I'll have breakfast and I'll fly away. Where am I flying to? I'm still not telling you. So it's Thursday, so we're going to talk about martial arts radio in today's episode. I'm going to tell you about that in a moment. But while I'm doing that, I'd love for some of you to drop in the chat what yesterday was. I know it was Wednesday, but what did you do on Wednesday? Did you train? Did you train at home? Did you do the 30-day challenge? We are getting very close to the end of the 30-day challenge. For those of you who started on day one, and guess what? There's another one for you. I think some of you are going to love it. Some of you will look at it and say, it's not as much my jam. But I'm really excited for it for not one single reason, for many reasons. But here's why. We're testing a theory. Gave you an amazing program that some of you are finding tremendous value in for free. Now, if you want to keep that going, we've got another tremendous program, which actually I think is much more unique, much more targeted, and even better fits our Whistlekick. And you will learn about it as your challenge comes to an end, because we are announcing it first. And it will cost you a small amount of money. You'll look at it and go, that's it? Okay. At least I expect a lot of you will say that. Dennis said he had the privilege of training virtually with our own Jenny Nather at Superfoot Dojo last night, led by Jim Ginter, who did an amazing job. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that Jenny got in on that. I know that's something she wanted to do. Jim is a great guy and a wonderful kicker. And I suspect that Bill wasn't available because he is in, he arrived yesterday, day before, with the Superfoot crew for Atlantic City. I will see him tomorrow. Kelly says, Jeremy's afraid we're going to show up and see him on his workcation. I would love that, actually. But no, that's not why. Here's why. Some people really love to know everything that's going on. And I love to drive those people nuts. That's a big part of it. I think that's really fun. Especially when it's something like this that doesn't matter. This, where I do this show from doesn't impact any of you. Right? You will have a different behind me scene. What will it be? Will there be a window? Might you be able to see something out of the window? What if I was just rearranging the living room and you'd be looking at the patio doors? No, that's not what's happening. I am departing. I am getting on a plane and going somewhere. So that narrows it down a little bit. Now, today's episode of Martial Arts Radio, let me find it. Let me get there. Switch over here. Whistlekick channel keeps growing, slowly but steadily, but it's growing. And here we go to this button. That's not the button. That's not what I wanted. Where is it? Oh, I feel like you rearrange things. Oh, come on. YouTube. YouTube's killing me. Not this, not that. Come on. Oh, I can go there. I can do it. Got it. Okay. We have a third installment of the Martial Arts Word Association, which I'm pumped about. Andrew keeps making them more and more challenging, which I'm really enjoying. Now, if you haven't checked out the first two, maybe you think, oh, this is gimmicky. It is. It's not going to be very interesting. And I tune into Thursday shows because I want to hear what Jeremy thinks about stuff. So you would be wrong then. Because the whole premise here is that I have to do all the things I normally do with bringing in, at least I'm attempting to bring in, thoughtful, insightful commentary on martial arts and how it impacts our lives, but using these completely random, previously unknown, or at least undisclosed to me words as a jump-off point. Are some of my brief rants better than others? Of course, but that's half the fun. So if you haven't checked out one of the first two Martial Arts Word Association episodes, I hope that you do. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Craig. Dennis says day 21 to 25 of the challenge done and dusted. We'll make it official with a Facebook post later. Woo! That's great. Mark says, use a green screen. You could vacation every day. I could. And I'm really tempted, Dennis says to Craig, well, you know something, brother, said in my Hulk Hogan voice. I'm really tempted to attempt a Hulk Hogan voice. Brother. I think everybody can do that part. It's the rest of what he says that's a little difficult. Yeah, so check that out. Check out Martial Arts Radio today. Have fun. If you have words you want to contribute, don't forget, if you have questions for the Q&A episodes, you can shoot all that stuff to Andrew at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, although quite a few of you have him as social media connections, and you can reach out in whatever way the two of you decide is fine. Tea is so good. The other thing to tell you is we are now down to three slots for All In Weekend. 3. And with the conversations that are happening on the back end, I'm pretty sure 2 of those are spoken for. Actually, there might be, let's see. Yeah, 2 of those are spoken for. 1, I feel like somebody's got their foot half in, half out. I'm not confident on that one because they haven't been before, so they don't know what they're missing. But here's the deal. It's first come, first serve. So if you don't sign up soon, maybe today, you're probably going to be stuck. Now, I have said this. I haven't been, super loud about it. You can pay all at once. You can pay in 4 installments. But if you're looking at the timing of today versus your paycheck or something and going, Jeremy, I really want to go and I have most of or all of the money next week or something, but I can't put down, my checking account's overdrawn right now, but I really want to go. Reach out to me. Let me know. We will find a way. I'll make you sign something, but we'll find a way, okay? This will work out. Anything else I want to tell you? Today, I have no appointments because I canceled or removed them all because I thought I was going to be traveling. So today is all about packing for this weekend, packing for next week. There will probably be some email in there. I've got one of the newer team members working on that next 30-day program. There were a lot of emails going back and forth about that yesterday. I suspect we will continue that. And I've got a few other things around here that I'm going to do. So I will just get started cranking through my list. It's already laid out, and we'll see where the day takes me. I'll probably go to the gym later. Went to the gym a little bit last night. Let's switch gears. Because even though it's Thursday, Frank made a change for us. He did not want to do jokes Friday because tomorrow is a bit of a somber day and he wanted to recognize it as such. So we are doing the jokes today. So it's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Does not have the same ring, but I'm sure you can all hang tight with me here. All right. Share screen. Over here. The jokes for Fun Day Thursday. Today is Spouses Day. Marriage is when a man and woman become as one. The trouble starts when they try to decide which one. Grooms, once you get married, remember that when you have a discussion with your future wife, always get the last two words in. Yes, dear. My wife gave birth 4 times and still fits in her prom dress from high school. I gave birth 0 times and I haven't fit in my pants since March. What's the penalty for bigamy? 2 mothers-in-law. That's good. My wife says I can join your gang, but I have to be home by 9. Just asked my wife what she's burning up for dinner, and it turned out to be all of my personal belongings. People are always asking couples whose marriages have endured at least a quarter of a century for their secret for success. Actually, it is no secret at all. I'm a forgiving woman. Long ago, I forgave my husband for not being Paul Newman. Irma Bombeck. Wife. Our new neighbor always kisses his wife when he leaves for work. Why don't you do that? Husband. How can I? I don't even know her. I need to start paying closer attention to stuff. Found out today my wife and I have separate names for the cat. Whenever my wife packs me a salad for lunch, all I want to know is what I did wrong. I feel like I'm blurring those. Moving on. Husband, why do you keep reading our marriage license? Wife, I'm looking for an expiration date. Didn't she, the bride, look absolutely gorgeous? She swept down the aisle. Well, groom's name, you can be sure that's the very last time you'll see her sweep. Ooh, some of these are harsh. At every party, there are 2 kinds of people, those who want to go home and those who don't. The trouble is, they're usually married to each other. The only one of your children who does not grow up and move away is your husband. And lastly, I always wanted to marry Mrs. Wright, but I didn't know her first name was always. So I'm gonna take a moment here. A lot of those were funny. I'm gonna take a moment and just make a statement. I do not support the social cliche that shows up in TV and movies of men being ineffective and women being domineering. I know it exists, and I know plenty of couples like this. But I also know far more couples that are not like this. And what I don't like about it is if you look at most TV and movie representations that are that way, if you really get down to it, neither of those people end up being people that you want to like. They balance each other out, but it's not, you can tell they're not healthy. And given that so many of us grow up in a home with divorced people, we think that that's normal for a very long time. And then we spend a lot of time unlearning what was shown to us. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Now, we do have more stuff to talk about because Frank sent us over some things. Tuesday was also Global Belly Laugh Day. And we're going to talk about laughter. We just had some jokes. And now we'll go at humor in a different direction. The discipline of science that studies laughter is called gelotology. While scientists can't be exactly sure about the history of laughter, laughter has presumably been around since the very first human beings were on Earth. Yeah, we see animals laugh. Tell me if you have a dog that you haven't seen your dog laugh before. Maybe not in the same kind of physical response, but you can tell. Laughter can be a response to either external or internal stimuli, whether a child is being tickled by a parent or a person simply thinks of something inside their head that is really funny. More than simply a response to something funny, however, scientists have also found that laughter is an important part of human communication and relationships. A belly laugh is something beyond a mere giggle or chuckle, as it is considered to be a loud, hearty laugh that is sometimes uncontrollable. And the best way to celebrate Global Belly Laugh Day is to get out there and experience one. I love humor in all forms, whether it's stand-up comedy or a funny show or movie, trading funny stories with friends, reading a funny book. And yeah, books can be funny. I have literally laughed out loud at the book A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. Probably the funniest author that I've read. He's hysterical. While I don't scratch those words because I don't know where I was going with them. I like to laugh. I think most of us like to laugh. Some of us have a hard time letting go, so we can laugh, though. You go to a stand-up show, and there are always a few people. And if you talk to comics, they spot those people in the crowd, and some of them, if they're early in their career, it can derail them. I've got 500 people in this audience, and 2 of them are not laughing. What am I doing wrong? Right? Instead of focused on the 498 that are laughing. But I find humor a really valuable tool in teaching. If you've been to one of the MATIC, the teacher training courses that Craig and I have put on, you have probably laughed. We make them fun. We have fun because it's more enjoyable to teach something when you are enjoying it. And it's much more enjoyable to learn and more effective as a learning environment when there is some humor. If you've ever taken a martial arts seminar with me, I make it fun. And I'm in good company there because some of the best seminar presenters that I've ever attended, like a man we mentioned earlier, Superfoot Bill Wallace, he tends to have fun. He tends to make people laugh. He's got some jokes that he'll put out there. And if you're laughing, you're more likely to keep paying attention. But to make things humorous requires a better understanding, more confidence, etc., which is why it's not something that everyone does. When I talk to martial arts schools and we talk about retention, we're talking about them having a good time during their training. If they have fun and they learn stuff. You can have the most knowledge in the world on any subject, but if it's boring to hear, nobody wants to hear it. You can be mildly effective as an instructor, but if people have fun, they'll keep coming back. And we see that. There are plenty of schools that people will disparage because maybe the instructors aren't terribly knowledgeable. Maybe they don't have high rank. Maybe they didn't see competitive success, but they make it fun. Whereas the school down the street with the person who is kind of the opposite has, 6 students. People want to have fun. Too much of our lives is not fun. Have fun, laugh, enjoy. Cultivate that in others. Give them the environment where they can. Dennis says, one time I sent my dad a pile of snow for Christmas. I called him a few hours later and asked him if he got my drift. Jenny says, it's impossible not to laugh when any combination of the people from the extended Whistlekick family are together. There is a lot of laughter when we get together. Kelly says, my favorite part of the day is when I'm teaching. Always leave with happiness in my heart. And most people have been teaching for a while and are effective at it and have strong programs. They say the same thing. They find a lot of value in teaching. I love teaching. I learned a tremendous amount from teaching. I have fun teaching. And I'll keep doing it until it's not fun. Why don't I have a full-time program? Well, because I got other things. But I think about it a lot because I know it would be fun. We'll get there. Zed says, we laugh a lot, both in my middle school classroom and at the dojo. Awesome. Mark says, this is awesome. I'm laughing all morning. You all bring a smile to my face. Good. Don't be afraid to laugh. Don't be afraid to share laughter. And let's destroy this belief that laughter cannot coexist with seriousness, with importance. Comedians make you laugh, and many of them, maybe even most of them, tackle the most serious subjects. If you have employees or students, it's okay for them to laugh. It's okay for them to find joy in what you're doing. Hey, you, martial arts is serious. I don't want you to have fun while you're doing it. That's ridiculous. But that's what some people are effectively telling their students. I would never train anywhere where I wasn't allowed to laugh. There's an educational component there too. If something funny happens, you're more likely to remember what's going on. If somebody makes a mistake and it's silly, they are less likely to do that thing again, and so is everyone else around them. Oh, you remember that time we were doing that form, you did this thing, and the two of you bonked heads? Yeah, I'm not supposed to turn left there, am I? Right? You know, that kind of stuff. Good times. Dennis says, in his best John Kreese voice, I suspect, laughter exists in this dojo, doesn't it? Yes, Sensei. And that takes us to the end. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Go check out that episode of Martial Arts Radio. If you have not signed up for All In Weekend, make it a priority. Get in on that. And if you have questions on that event or anything that we do, reach out to me, Jeremy@whistlekick.com. If you want to support us beyond those things, you can join the Patreon. Or you could use the code FIRSTCUP15 at whistlekick.com to save. And you're not going to get 15% off All In Weekend. That is a non-discount. Our events are not discounted. But you can also check out the family page, whistlekick.com/family. If you haven't been there this week, you should go this week. I put up things every week, and I take other things down every week. It's not huge changes, but just enough. And there's even a date and time at the top so you know when it last changed. So you don't have to scour the whole thing. What did Jeremy change? Oh, he did change something since I was last here. Let me find it. It's like a little scavenger hunt. And we will probably end here. Kelly says, I remember when I was training at UVM, the instructor was super serious. He left for a year, came back, and he was way more jovial. He told a joke, and the new students laughed. The original group was shocked and thought he was going to give them push-ups, but he didn't, and we were shocked. There would be something really messed up about someone who told a joke and then punished people for laughing. I'm sure those people exist. I'm sure I've met them. I don't want to spend time with them. That's not a healthy person. Although one can assign push-ups in a false punitive way that is also funny and really more of a conditioning exercise. I have experienced that, and I see nothing wrong with that. I'm off. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. So take care and peace.